Hello friends, I'm Kayla and I have been making booktube videos for 10 years. I'm having a celebration of sorts where every month I look back on something, I reflect on something, I redo something. Today I'm going to talk about what books I would read for reading vlogs that I've done in the past if I was going to do them today. I have posted hundreds of reading vlogs over the years where I pick a theme and then I read like that theme. There are playlists on my channel you can check out if you're interested. If you're new here and you want to go back and check out some ones that I haven't yet privated, because I put a lot of them in a secret vault that no one's allowed to see. For example, maybe 3 years ago, I posted a vlog all about reading rabbit books, books with rabbits on the cover, because I noticed a trend with my reading that I was liking books with rabbits on the cover and I wanted to explore that more. And I was thinking, what would I read now? Because there are more books coming out all the time with rabbits on the cover, like what's actively on my TBR. And so I thought I would build these little fake TBRs with you, what I would read if I were to redo these vlogs. And then if you want to vote in the comments, I will actually redo one of them. I wrote down, I think, 30 to choose from. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm just going to reach in and I'm going to go for something and we're just going to keep going until my 40 minutes is up today. Because there's just so many vlogs, it was hard to choose which ones I even might want to discuss here. I left out most of my readathon vlogs though, because I wouldn't redo a readathon if it was not actively happening, you know? So I wanted to start with this one because if I'm doing a 10-year reflection, I think it needs to encompass all 10 years. And this is one of the only ones I thought I could actually like rebuild a TBR for, because all the other ones are so hyper specific to the time. But Booktubeathon was the first readathon that I ever daily vlogged. So I posted a video every day for a week and I completed all the challenges. So I thought I would remind myself of what the challenges were 10 years ago and like what I would do now. So the first challenge was to read 7 books. That was a challenge of the readathon, was to read 7 books in 7 days. The next thing is to read the last book you acquired. So in this moment I picked extras. It's part of the Ugly series. I never even read past the first book in the Ugly series, but maybe I read it for this specific vlog. Last book I acquired. Actually, maybe we need to go to my TBR shelf. I wasn't planning on moving, but because I didn't really think this video through. Oh, this is fun actually. I just went to the bookstore the other day and I ended up getting the sequel to The Ornithologist Field Guide to Love. I didn't think I was gonna, like, I still don't think I'm gonna read it that soon, but I just wanted to have it. And I also picked up The Emperor of Gladness by Ocean Vuong. So I guess I would pick one of these two, but let's check the other prompts because maybe I could fit both of them in this fake concept vlog. The next prompt was to read an author whose last name begins with the same letter as your last name. So I ended up picking A Great and Terrible Beauty by Libba Bray, and neither of these fit for that. What do I have to choose from here? Oh, this is also a recently acquired one because an ARC was sent to me of The Unveiling by Quan Berry. So I guess I would be reading that. Next prompt is to read someone's favorite book. So let's go with this one because when I read The Ornithologist, a bunch of people said that the second book is just as good. So I could consider that a favorite, and then I'm reading this for most recently acquired. Another challenge was just a book you really want to read, and I picked Stargirl, apparently. I wanted to reread that. And then I had to read a book without letting go of it, and I read Slaughterhouse-Five. I'm interested to see how I accomplished that. That doesn't seem like the shortest book ever. I'm gonna turn all of those vlogs members only for the week so we can look back and cringe together because I want to rewatch them. I guess the most likely thing I could read in one sitting is Crypt of the Moon Spider because it's the shortest thing that I have. It's like 100 pages. This is not 7 books, but here's my fake TBR. Let's go back to my kitchen office. Originally, I was going to just pick one vlog from each year, so we were covering all 10 years with 10 vlogs, but then there was too many good ideas, and I really didn't vlog that much unique stuff outside of readathons in year, like, looking 8 or 9 years ago. And then there were some years where I was doing a whole bunch of stuff. So let's pick something to look at together. Okay. Oh, there's 2 there. Oh, the lowest rated books on my TBR. Okay, so this was a pretty long time ago, I feel. The original one I did in 2018, and then I redid it in 2022, I guess. So maybe it's too soon to redo this one. In the original vlog, oh, this was my first time reading Mona Awad, 13 Ways of Looking at a Fat Girl. I also read, oh, Campfire Stories of Western Canada. That was terrible. Palo Alto, that one was kind of terrible. Those Girls by Lauren Saft, I didn't really like. The Flame Alphabet, I absolutely hated. Okay, so at that point, it wasn't things genuinely on my TBR. It was just like random assortment of stuff that I had out from the thrift store. I think my other one was much more successful. Ooh, I miss this vibe. Maybe I don't look that different, but like the balayage hair color. I look very autumnal. I read Leave the World Behind. That was a huge win. I read Black Chalk that I liked. I read If I Disappear and What Should Be Wild that I didn't really like. Then a couple thrillers, They All Fall Down and When I'm Through With You. And then The Mercury Boys, which I didn't really like. So if I were to read, oh, let's just check my Goodreads. What would I be reading if I had to read the lowest rated books on my TBR today? Okay, on my want to read, I would be reading Supplication, which is interesting. I would be reading Entitlement, which is on my TBR. I've already read the last session, so I just haven't updated anything. Interesting. The Bart sisters are both here. And then Your Life is Mine by Nathan Ripley. I can't remember if that's still in my TBR closet or not. And those all have around a 3 or under. And then if we look at on my radar shelf, which is pretty much the same thing, it's also a want to read. The lowest rated books that are actually out. Hot Singles in Your Area is only a 2.5. We Ate the Dark is a 2.7. Curdle Creek is a 2.8. Rachel Housel Hall, that is an author that I just mentioned that I already read. So I guess she gets low ratings regularly. How do I think that vlog would go? It's hard to know because I never know if I'm gonna like something. That's why I like reading things that have a low average rating, because I often am the unpopular opinion, and maybe I like being the unpopular opinion. I will say they seem to be a lot of mystery, thriller, and horror stuff, which definitely checks out because that has, you know, a mix of feelings surrounding them, more so I feel like than general fiction or romance, or maybe it's just that I don't have a lot of romance on my TBR. Is that the vlog you want me to complete? How do you think it would go? Next. TikTok chooses my TBR. Okay, I did this one maybe 3 years ago now. This one would be a fine one to redo now because I know that my algorithm is much more suited to me. I also just use TikTok more for my bookish stuff. Like I actually post on it. Back then I wasn't really doing that. So in that vlog I read Whispers and Roars, Reckless Girls, His and Hers, The Hacienda, and Before the Coffee Gets Cold. I was crying reading that, but there was actually only one story in there that really landed for me. The rest of it was just okay. Some of those I would consider TikTok books. Like they got a lot of popularity on TikTok. They're popular with the people who are on TikTok, but I wouldn't say like this represents what TikTok currently looks like as a whole overall, or my own For You page. So I guess we have to look at my For You page and see what I would be reading. When I picked my TBR for this, I was scrolling and I had to pick the first 3 things that I saw, but then I also just said like I was gonna find a screenshot on my phone of one or two that I've saved in the past, and that's why I chose those ones. So let's check my algorithm and see what I would be reading. I've done other TikTok related videos, so I don't think this is one at the top of mind for redoing. Okay, the first thing on here is a little reading, cows. Bitch, I'm a cow. Okay, so I would be reading Cows. I've heard of this, but I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like an extreme horror? Okay, if I continue scrolling, we have...
How far you are in the book that you're currently reading?
Gwen and Art Are Not in Love. That's something I've heard of. Oh, A Whole Stack of Elsie Silver. There's a couple people in my comments and in my DMs who definitely want me to read some Elsie Silver. I don't know if that's a good idea. Oh, Tara DeWitt. Also, that is a popular author right now who writes romance. So this one actually, I think I have on my TBR, or I have a screenshot on my phone of like romance to look into. So I'd be down to read that one. Oh, Mayana's talking about Romantasy.
I don't know how y'all are reading this.
We've got a whole bunch of things popping up on the screen I've read, a couple I haven't. I've seen Little Thieves around a lot. I don't think it's for me, but I've seen it around. Okay, and then if I switch from my For You page to my following page, we have, okay, a whole bunch of recommendations. A guide to translated Latin American literature. Jose is talking about a language, what does that say? A Language of Limbs? How to Be a See You Next Tuesday in 3 Easy Reads. And now I'm reading Boy Parts. Okay, I think there's the TBR. Do you think I would like any of that? Should I read any of that? As far as screenshots, things that I have that I've recently kept a note of. Okay, let me explain this one. It's Wet Hot Allosaurus Summer. I only screenshotted that because, how do I explain myself? Oh, I had a dinosaur vlog that I was doing, and I was like, if I had to redo the dinosaur vlog, what would I pick? And I just, like, nothing came to mind. But then as I was thinking about that, I saw this on my TikTok and I was like, maybe I should read that if I were to redo that video. Oh, I also have a screenshot of Spark of the Everflame because I keep seeing that one and everyone tells me it's such a good slow burn, and I'm convincing myself that I need to read it even though I'm probably wrong. And then this one is Queer Muslim Literature, Roses in the Month of a Lion? Mouth of a Lion. It's backwards. No idea what that is, but apparently I wanted to take the recommendation. Let's move on to the next one. Oh, my butterfly vlog. Okay, so this was officially my first creature vlog ever, before I knew I was doing a creature series. In that vlog, I read The Butterfly House, which is a thriller. I read Butterfly in the Wind, which I liked, and I read Tinfoil Butterfly. I really didn't like this vlog. I think I privated it pretty soon after. If I were to redo it though, I definitely have some butterflies on my TBR. I guess I could include them just in an insect vlog because I'm planning on doing a bug vlog. Maybe. Am I doing the bug vlog? I don't know. But I do think if I look at my Goodreads TBR, I would be able to find quite a few things. I'm thinking there's so many books that I have that have like a foresty picnic kind of vibe, and I would bet that they have butterflies. So let's find a few. I'm just gonna show you pictures rather than scrolling because the pictures are so tiny. I bet the Dating Countdown has a butterfly because it's so cutesy. Okay, no. Lost in the Garden? No, that's just flowers. Maybe this one? No, that's a lot of strawberries. Okay, I'll find something. Oh, Midnight Rooms by Donya Coles. Okay, I would be reading that. I would be reading, I know that, oh, They're Monstrous Hearts that I didn't DNF, I just like read the first chapter and it wasn't super intriguing, but if I was doing a butterfly vlog, it would convince me to read this one. And I think those ones actually maybe have butterflies in them because the original ones that I read didn't actually have butterflies. It was just part of the title. Maybe something in the Pumpkin Spice Cafe series would have a butterfly. Doesn't look, oh, is that a rabbit? Okay, maybe I'll pull the rabbit one and then I can talk about the Strawberry Patch Pancake House. Oh, the third rule of time travel, the butterfly effect. That could definitely be relevant. Oh, Quicksilver has a butterfly. I already read that. Maybe the Dale Meyer series, I would be willing to bet that something in that has butterflies because there's so much foliage and stuff. Oh my God, I just realized there's actually toes on this one. Toes in the tulips? That's disgusting. Weapon in the Watermelon has ladybugs. X-ray in the Xanth. Oh, there's a butterfly on her head. And then also Oozy in the Urn. There are multiple butterflies on Oozy in the Urn. So if there was ever a reason for me to pick up another book in the series, this butterfly video would be the one. Pantone. Okay, this one might not be the most exciting because I'm just talking about colors. I did a video where I predicted the Pantone color of the year, and then I read a book that was those colors. I've done a couple Pantone prompts since, but not another video solely focused on Pantones. The Pantone color of the year is Mocha Mousse. I talked about this. Did I post it in a video? Probably. I also posted an Instagram picture with some, oh, I did it as a prompt in some kind of video at the end of the year, and I read this Christmassy book. So I've done Pantone related things since this one major vlog. But what I read in that one was Loveless, These Vengeful Hearts, and Harrow Lake. I didn't love any of them. So I don't know if I would want to redo a Pantone one. If I had to read something that was mocha moussey, I don't really know. I recently added Psycho Pomp and Circumstance to my TBR, so maybe that would be the one. Also, there's something about the body on A Blood as Bright as the Moon that kind of looks like a similar, or Vampires at Sea or Hazelthorn. If I pulled over the exact brown, it's probably not actually there. Those are the brown ones that I see. But if I could pick any color, I don't really know how to make a fake TBR for this because there's like a million Pantone colors. Let's move on to the next. Library books. Okay, this specifically wasn't just about reading the library books that I had out from the library, but it was books that I had borrowed and had given back without reading. So I can create a fake TBR right now if I just look at the books on here in my borrowing history. In the original video, I read a lot of things. A Mango-Shaped Space, because Liam was reading that for school. Tell Me Pleasant Things About Immortality. I didn't really love that. History of Fear I thought was fine. Look Closer was really good. The God of Endings was really good. Okay, maybe this is a good idea for a vlog. Oh, The Lake of Lost Girls. Yeah, I should have read that. I thought I wanted to, but I didn't know for sure if I wanted to. Listen to Your Sister, I borrowed and returned because I saw everybody just say it was not very good. So I didn't even give it a try myself, which is pretty bad. Obviously, The Priory of the Orange Tree, like everyone's telling me I should have finished that. When Women Were Dragons, people keep telling me I should have finished that. And then another vote for Boy Parts by Eliza Clark. Why did I pick that up? Was it for something? Did I just not complete it, or did I not ever talk about it? I don't know. Oh, and then A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking by T. Kingfisher I borrowed and then gave back right away. I had no motivation to read it, I guess. Okay, so that's my fake TBR for that one. What's next? Kayla books. So this is the video where I read books with my name. It was supposed to be like in the title or a main character or an author. I could only find authors. And I feel like I didn't like any of the books. Okay, so I read The Animators, which I did not like. I read Darling by Kate Ankrum, who is an author I love, but I didn't like that one. And This Splintered Silence, which I also didn't love. So the only Kayla authors on my TBR right now, I have Blood and Brujas. That's by Michaela de Hornido. Or I have Seven Silenced by Kayla Morton. That doesn't come out until 2026. So if I were to do this vlog, I would have to, again, find a bunch of books that aren't actually on my TBR, which is what I did the original time, and they weren't wins. So that's questionable. The first thing, let's see, if I just search Kayla on Goodreads, the first thing that pops up is called Trick Shot. A spicy Christmas novella. I could be convinced to read that. I also see This Delicious Death by Kaylin Cottingham, who I think people have recommended to me, but it's YA horror that she writes. And then Mother in the Dark by Kayla Mayuri, which I do like the cover of. So that would be, I guess, my TBR. Does Michaela count? Probably not. Next, we're gonna do the highest rated books on my TBR. Perfect, because I am very curious. I do believe I only did this video once in 2019. I did the lowest rated twice. I only did highest rated once. Maybe because it didn't go well. I read The Nightingale, which did not. Not that bad. That was a good one. Homegoing, which I didn't really like. Educated, which I didn't like. And Crooked Kingdom, which was fine. Okay, highest rated books on my TBR. I have to actually find things that are out. So like we see Seven Silence right there. That doesn't count. These books are not out. Oh God, Zonked in the Zucchinis? Not Dale Meyer popping up again. This one came out just in March. So it's like, obviously it has a high average rating because books typically have a really high average rating the day they come out and then it slowly drops down. Not that I wish that for Dale Meyer. I would also be reading, oh, Left of Forever. I did apparently add that to my TBR. So there's that one. I would have to clean up my TBR shelf so much before actually accomplishing this video because there's a bunch of things that I just added on here because I talk about them in videos and I want to link to them. Shapes of Native Nonfiction that I've borrowed from the library and have given back. And then Five Little Indians, another Indigenous story. That one is on my TBR shelf. The Law of Moses, I need to take off because I tried to read that for this is the oldest book on my TBR and it has like one of the highest average ratings. Yeah, no. Ooh, and then Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping has a 4.26. That also did just come out, but I have it on my TBR shelf. So there's my fake TBR if I were to redo highest rated, which maybe I need to do. Maybe not right now. That's something I could see myself doing at some point before the end of the year. Next up, let's talk about the Ultimate Reading Challenge. Okay, so this is one where I've been wondering this. Did I open all of these? Because this has been sitting in my closet since I filmed this a couple years ago. It's this book where you complete the challenge and then you open the little thing and you get the prize inside. Did I open them all even though I didn't complete it? Let's find out together. In this video, I read a lot of things. Okay, I didn't. This is so cute. Maybe I should have waited. Oh my God, this was in here this whole time. This is so cute. What the heck? Would I actually ever use this? I don't know, but I love it. So in that original video, I think I spent the weekend getting through as many of the prompts as I could. I know I read Recitative in that video. I also read Nupaming. I read Vampires Never Get Old, Finley, one of the sequels, Goddess of Filth, and Cherish Farah. That seems like a lot in one vlog. I don't know. I don't want to watch this back, but maybe I was just like giving ideas of what I was gonna read. Anyway, I do think I should complete this, but also maybe I should just open them all instead. Oh, what's in this one? Is this bad that I'm opening it? Wait, what am I pretending I completed? Hold on, where did that come from? Read a book that's been sitting on your shelf unread for more than a year. Yeah, I do that all the time. This one's a bookmark. What I remember from opening these is some of them were like fun, but they weren't that exciting and it didn't feel that worth my money. This is a wooden bookmark that I wish I had known was in here because that's so fun. What the heck? Don't tell me to complete this challenge because I'm just gonna open them all right now. It doesn't seem like there are very many I didn't get to. Okay, this one, what is this? Oh my God, they're tiny little stickers. This is a big one. Don't worry, if you're thinking, no, Kayla, I wanted to make you redo this vlog, I have another option for you. This is like a cup holder for a hot coffee cup or something. I don't know when I would ever use that. Okay, so there was only 7 slots that I hadn't opened, and there are gift tags. There are these little cards that maybe I'll try to find a use for. This sticker that was folded in half in one of the pockets, and the things I already showed you. But what I do have is a different one. This is the Ultimate Romance Reading Challenge. It looks very summery and bright, and I actually started filming a video where I was completing these prompts and reading romance books last year, and then all the books went terribly. I think I read 3, maybe 4, and then I gave up. So if you want me to complete or redo that video, I do have this as an option, and maybe I can pick things that are just romance adjacent. Some of the prompts are really simple, just like read a summer romance novel outside, read a romance novel with a protagonist much older than you are. I think that one's a pencil. I want to open that one. Read a book with friends to lovers. Read a book that includes an LGBTQIA couple. I know a lot of you are against me reading romance, but I could. As far as a TBR, what are the romance books on my TBR? That one I just showed you, the sequel to The Ornithologist, that Tara DeWitt, A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping that I showed you, that maybe is a romance. Tusk Love, could we call that one a romance? Oh, I also have When Javi Met Mari on my TBR for the summer. Hey, that one's Friends to Lovers. Let's move on to the next idea. And it's, oh, Zodiac. Okay, so I did one video where I read like an Aries. That one feels like so long ago now. And I read Dry. I read Book of Joan, so one like, one dislike. Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry, which I liked. The Power, which I didn't. On the Road, which I really didn't. And The Disasters. And I feel like if I were to redo this one, I would be able to find so many more like recommendations online from TikTok, from blogs, from Instagram. Like so many more people are doing posts like this than they were back then. So I think there's a lot of opportunity. But I did also do a Zodiac video recently, the year before last year. And I went through this reading the stars, and I respect the recommendations so very much, and I know they're so thoughtful, but I hated so much of them, mostly all the nonfiction. It was not a good time for me. But I also did find Binti and How to Survive in a Science Fictional Universe, so it definitely appealed to my sci-fi tastes. And I remember saying if I were to redo that video, maybe I could do it with like my moon sign or my rising sign. And I don't remember if I ever actually looked into what those recommendations would be. Look how pretty. Like this is such a good book to look through, and it discusses so many interesting things. So if I were to look at the Taurus stuff, my fake TBR, if I were to redo this video, would include The Broken Earth trilogy, which I finished. The Black Count, I don't know what that is, but it says you love a challenge and you also love a classic. Spaceman of Bohemia is on my TBR shelf. Leo, if I were to do a Leo book, because I'm a Leo rising, I would maybe be picking up Clara and the Sun. I did like that. Anne of Green Gables, The Queen of the Night, another Nnedi Okorafor. Okay, so that would be my tentative TBR if I were to redo this. If I were to redo my whole Zodiac, I don't think I can make a fake TBR because it would involve like fully searching the internet for all of these ideas. Maybe let's just see what Book Riot's most recent recommendation would be, because they're the ones who made this book to begin with. And also they do, at least back in the day, they did like weekly, maybe monthly horoscope recommendations. So let's see if there's anything new. It does seem like they don't do them anymore. The most recent though is from January 2024. Aries recommended was On Thriving, Harnessing Joy Through Life's Great Labors. I don't want to read that. But I can backdate a little bit and see what else. Yours for the Taking by Gabrielle Korn was recommended at the end of 2023. I did read that and I enjoyed it. The November recommendation, The Future by Naomi Alderman. I don't know if I like that author. That's funny that that was recommended when that's something that that's an author that I read for the original Aries video. Another one is One Puzzling Afternoon. But also, I do have my besties spreadsheet. I have channel members who contributed to the spreadsheet where they listed their Enneagram and their zodiac sign and their favorite books. And I could easily find an Aries recommended book in there. And I could recreate the Aries thing. Maybe I would want to do it in a couple more years when more time has passed since I've like done one. But let me know what you think about me doing that one as your pick. Next up, let's talk about, Third Time's the Charm. So this is an entire video series that I did that had different seasons. One season, it was focused on authors that I had read from twice before and I loved, and I wanted to find a third book from them that I also loved. Another season was focused on authors I'd read from and hated twice, and Third Time's a Charm was to see if I could find something, or actually I should write them off completely. The last season was where I was reading a book like I loved from an author and I hated from an author, and I wanted to see, or no, maybe that was the first season. All that to say, I believe the only book in that entire series that I gave 5 stars was in the last episode, which was Tenerife Dew. So it must have been reading authors that I loved twice and seeing if the third was a win, and it was with The Reformatory. If I were to redo that series, I would probably want to do it in that same way, an author that I've loved twice. So who is an author that I need to find that next win? Okay, Bolu Babalola is one. I love 2 books from her, so I would read Sweet, whatever it's called. This one's coming out this summer. I would love to read that for a vlog. And then R.F. Kuang comes out soon too, like any vlog where I could talk about Kate Basis, because I don't have a concept for that one yet. I gave 4.5 stars to Babel, 4 to Yellowface, but I still feel like it would qualify. And then, I don't know, for some reason I'm thinking about Rachel Harrison as an author that her things sound so interesting, her books, but I never really like them, but I keep wanting to read them. So maybe that's an author that it's not necessarily the third time, but I want to read Play Nice. I want to see if I love it. I just feel like this is the author for me. I just haven't found the right book. And that's happened to me with authors before. Like Ruth Ware, I had to read 4 books from before I loved one. Next Time's the Charm. Kind of. It's just like authors I've read from before reading their newest thing. Like that's the concept vlog, and I never do vlogs like that, but that would be an easy one to fulfill. Ooh, this one's fun. Okay, this is reading Jan's worst books. This was only a year ago, so this isn't a video that I would redo because it was so recent. Jan is a person who I don't have a lot in common with. No, I do. We read so many similar books, but like ones that she absolutely loves, I hate, and vice versa. I loved the vlog that I did because she did one with me, and I just think collaboration is fun. She has turned it into an entire series on her channel. Maybe if I were to do it, I would turn it into a series with someone else. I can't really think of anyone. Honestly though, I was watching Sarah Without an H's recent video, and there was like 2 books in it that I loved so much, and she roasted, and I was like, if I were ever to redo this one, I should do it with Sarah. I have no plans to turn it into a series, so this is fun. Let's look at Jan's list right now. Since I did this like a year ago, what would I be reading now? What is the most recent things that she has hated? In the original video, I read The Handyman Method, which I ended up really liking. What Lies in the Woods was good, but The House in the Pines was terrible. And then the fantasy that I read, The Book of Night and One Dark Window, weren't great for me. So this fake TBR is going to include a separate piece. Did she just not rate it, or was it a low rating? I wonder. Okay. Oh, I've already read The Troop, so I don't know why I just said that. Anoka? I don't know what that is. I don't remember seeing her review it. And then it seems she's having like a pretty decent reading year. There's not a lot of things under a 3. Oh, but Not Too Bold. That one's on my TBR. Okay, Two Can Play by Ali Hazelwood. 5 pages. A Great Big Beautiful Life. Hey, we agree. Something in the Walls. Okay. And then wait, Lights Out. Oh yeah, actually on the video that I posted, I saw her comment and say, we disagree again. So that means maybe The Butcher Game will be for me, or No Way Out. Or here's a 1 star, Dear Monster Claus. Dear Monster Claus sounds crazy. This doesn't have a terrible average rating, so it might just be Jan, and maybe it could be for me. Monster romance? Maybe. There's No Way Out of the Maze. Wait, that sounds fun. Dark romance novella? Okay. Child psychologist? I will not be reading that. Enemies to Lovers, spicy romance in the world of video gaming. And then this one that I was gonna save for my, well, I am saving. Oh my God, I forgot. I'm not actually doing this TBR. It's way too soon to be redoing such a similar TBR, but here's what I would be reading is But Not Too Bold. I'll read it by the end of the year and we will see if me and Jan align. Let's move on. Oh, hate comments. This one is an easy one for me to answer. This is another one that I did so recently that I wouldn't redo. However, I think I should note that there's only one hate comment. It's not even hate. It's just like talking about something that, just like when people talk about my eyes a lot. Okay, so the original video, I read a lot of things about eyeballs because people comment on my eyeballs. But I did like one thing that came of that video, and that's the haar. The only comment that I can think of that I wish I had included in that one is people talking about the way that I hold a pencil, because I recently did a video where I was writing, I was planning, and I hold my pencil like a weird person, apparently. Not apparently, I do write like a weirdo. Let me pull out my new little notebook. I write with all of my fingers on one side of my pencil, and people get very upset about it. And so my writing is nice and it doesn't hurt my hand, and you're not my 3rd grade teacher and you can't make me put a little foam thing on my pencil. I had to write like that for so long and it never fixed anything, and it felt terrible. It still feels terrible. I can't write like a normal person. So I guess what I would do is I would make sure I picked a book with like hands on the cover, which is already something that I gravitate towards. So I'm sure there's a million on my Goodreads TBR. Bewitching. Okay, I would just read that in the vlog. Or The Watermark by Sam Mills. Look at all the hands. And some of them are like, they look a little silly. Or Phantom Limb. That one just has a funny looking hand. Or Spitting Gold. That one has hands. So I wouldn't redo that vlog, but I would add an extra book onto it so I can talk about the hand comments because it's enough. Oh, we got the rabbit one. Okay, what would I read right now? What are the books on my TBR with rabbits on the covers that if I were to redo the rabbit vlog? You know what's funny about the rabbit vlog? I didn't end up with a single 5-star from that video. It was so crazy. The closest one was the children's Bible. I also read Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead, which I think was a 4 or a 4.5. Actually, I read a lot in that video. I read Bunnicula, Cursed Bunny, which was just okay. Wow, No Thank You, which I didn't like. Our Crooked Hearts, Winterset Hollow, Hare House, What Moves the Dead, Rabbits, which I didn't love, Lavender House, which I really didn't love. But if we were to redo it, what would I be reading? There's the one I already mentioned that I can't remember, but editing me will pop that in. I also know that there's the Amal El-Motar short stories that's coming out that has a rabbit. I talked about that recently. Oh, We Love You Bunny, because Bunny's the reason that I started loving books with bunnies on the cover. And so maybe this would be a full circle redo of the bunny vlog. Mystery Lights is on my TBR. I just love the cover so much. I think it's short stories. Smother Moss. I can't remember if I own, but that one I only heard about because people sent it to me because there are rabbits on the cover. After the Forest, are those rabbits, or they have hands too? Or are they something else? They scare me, actually. I don't want to read that. And then I noticed The Magician's Daughter recently, which people have recommended to me, has a rabbit on it. So if you have any other rabbit ones that you want to tell me about, put it in the comments below. And let me know if you want me to redo the rabbit vlog. But some of those books don't come out for a while, so I would have to put it off, but maybe that'd be good. Let's do 2 more before I have to go. Oh, good, Enneagram. Enneagram, because I had the Zodiac one. I want to talk about the Enneagram. The Enneagram video I would definitely redo, because not that I didn't like the books in it, I don't even remember what I read in it. Oh, this was a hair regret time in my life. Oh, this was when I worked full time and I like exclusively vlogged in bed because I was just so tired. I read Beloved. Okay, that was an okay read. Vicious was good. Biased. Oh, I read Biased. That was great. Where the Crawdads Sing was not good. Our Eyes Were Watching God was a good read though. So I liked the Enneagram thing. Again, I would have fun looking around, looking at the spreadsheet and finding something, looking at like blogs and Instagram posts and TikToks, I do have this millenniagram. I don't think there were book recommendations in it, but maybe it led you in a direction of things you could be interested in. Oh, it's falling apart now. What was I? Oh yeah, because it renamed everybody. It wasn't just the regular names. It's like specifically for millennials. Type 8 is the dragon. I just did a dragon vlog. Maybe I don't like dragon vlogs because I am the dragon. Yeah, it's really just text about understanding yourself in different aspects of your life. But I can tell you, because I've created graphics around it, I can tell you what I might be reading as an Enneagram 8 because I put together all of the stats. These are not recommendations from me. They're based on the members' 1,000 people's like input of what they like, and I assigned every Enneagram like a list of recommendations based on everybody else, what they are most likely to like. I'm not going to show you the whole thing because it is specifically for members, and I want to make sure they feel like they're getting their money's worth out of this. If you want to join, the link is down below. So I'm not going to show you everything that's on here, but as a type 8, these are things that I'm supposed to like, and I've left all the ones that I have indeed liked. This was somehow very accurate, and I didn't create this list. This is based on all the type 8s on the spreadsheet. When I'm telling you, like, okay, I'm not gonna go off, I'm not gonna wax poetic about the spreadsheet and the things here, but I think I would be reading Hungerstone because that is actively on my TBR. Is there anything else here? I have never actually looked at this as a recommendation guide for myself, so there's not very many things I haven't read. Fierce Femmes, I am interested in. I'm creating a TBR for myself from the spreadsheet, so you might see that like next month. I actually think I'm going to do a whole readathon with my channel members so they can try to read as much from their list as they can. There's one for Enneagrams and there's one for every person for their zodiac. Maybe I would just read something with 8 in the title and be like, oh, it fits for my Enneagram. We're gonna do one last one. Weird books Erin sent me. What a fantastic way to end it. What has Erin sent me most recently in our DMs? Because this video, my friend Erin just sends me random books, and they're often weird, and I've often never heard of them, and they didn't go very well in that video. Again, this is when I can't see myself redoing to its entirety because like it was fun in the moment, especially because when I started filming it, she unpromptedly sent me another one like right away and with a video, and I got to film the whole thing. It was a really fun vlog. I read my least favorite book of all time in that vlog, Only Revolutions. I also read Night Bitch, which I didn't really like, XX, which I did not like, Touch of Jen, which I didn't, and The Atlas 6, which was technically the win of the video, but it was only 3 stars. What has Erin sent me? Let's do the last 5 things in our messages, and that would be my fake TBR for this. Oh, the most recent thing she sent me is The Book That Wouldn't Burn, which I do actually have on my TBR shelf. I really was just waiting for someone to tell me I needed to read it because it sounded interesting. I don't know why. I think maybe it was right after filming the Buzzword vlog where I did bookish things, and I was like, oh, I should have read this for it. So I do want to read that at some point. She sent me Honey Eater, which makes sense because it's like a face of flowers. That's one that would be on my TBR anyway, or it was on my TBR. That's why I never reacted to it because I was actually maybe filming a video like that day talking about new releases, and that one was on there. She also sent me a video recently by another creator saying that there could be some like big wins for me in this video, and I do see that Catalina and Annie Bot are in it, which are 2 things that I've read and had differing feelings about, but I did watch this video. I might have skimmed it at the time. She sent me the Wordle Romance. I had already heard of it, but I have since hearing about it and her talking about it have purchased it. So that one's already on my TBR. That would be an easy one to fulfill. And then she sent me Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. It's a wedding book with a wedding planner. I think a lot of people have actually told me about that one. Was that 5? She also sent me at Christmas time, Hark the Herald Angels Scream, which is edited by like my least favorite anthology editor, but I do love a short story collection. So that's what I would be reading. That's my fake TBR. We're gonna go. I have filled up my memory card and I'm out of time. And I'm also really glistening here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again on another casual Wednesday where I just sit down in my kitchen office and I yap about something while I work behind the scenes on a vlog that'll come out on the weekend. Actually, this one probably isn't a vlog, it's probably my wrap up. That doesn't matter. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of any of these vlog concepts. I think I talked myself and maybe you out of them, which wasn't my plan going into it, but I just really like assessing things. But that's it for today. I can't wait to see which one you want me to complete, or how maybe you have some type of idea. Someone's gonna come in with some great idea because that's what you guys do. I'm pretty sure some of these vlog concepts even came from you. I'm looking forward to chatting with everybody, and I'll see you in another one soon. Bye!